there was a time when I used to say, oh, hello, I am never going to fall in love. It is no more than a waste of time, a way to mock emotions, a package of pain, and above all, a barrier for my success. That's it. But little did I know that life had already planned a different story for me. And it was not the story of two bodies, not the story of lust. It was neither a love story with a happy ending, nor the one with a tragic ending. Instead, it was the never-ending story of a journey from hating lustful and selfish love relationships to being curious for discovering the true meaning of love. Jai Shri Krishna everyone, I am Alicia Lamichane and today I welcome you all to observe my journey of love which commenced with the bitter experiences of numerous unimpressive love relationships, moved forth with the giggling memories of innumerable crush, and gradually uncovered a new direction by merging with the path of unconditional love to unfold the further mysteries of these three magical words. I love you. Okay, to begin with, during my school days when I was talking with my friends, out of a sudden one of those girls sparked off a topic which tickled me somewhere. She said, "Oi, तिमीहरुलाई थाहा छ फलाना केटाले फलानी केटीलाई लभ गर्छ अरे नि?" What? Love गर्छ? I got perplexed. Since that day, a question had stayed in my mind. What is love? You know, I had heard many clarifications, but none were satisfying. Finally, one day I heard one definition, which totally convinced me, and is my personal favorite definition of love. As per this definition, to be loved, following three conditions must be fulfilled. Number 1, there should be ever-increasing bliss. Number 2, there should be no vested interest at all. Number 3, nothing should be able to stop it. After hearing this, I got quite interested and started analyzing most of the love relationships we see in the world. At first, there is ever-increasing bliss. And yes, by bliss, I do not mean materialistic happiness. By bliss, I mean divine happiness which can be felt even by poorest of the poor if they love truly, and cannot be felt even by the richest of the rich if they do not love truly. So yes, do we find ever-increasing bliss in most of the couples? Almost no. Couples get bored of each other very soon. It feels sorry to say, but in most of the cases, intimacy lasts only up to the first physical relationship. Once the physical relationship takes place, there is a steep fall in the bliss with the partner. Interest is over, feeling is over, above all, the so-called love is over. Then people get bored with their partner, they get frustrated, irritated, they divorce or start keeping extramarital affairs, searching for a new face, for new taste. Secondly, is there any love without vested interest? Almost no. Most of the boys want pretty faced girls with zero figure body, and most of the girls, they want rich man. In many cases, people want partner not to live a happy life with caring and understanding, but they want partner to fulfill their selfish needs, let it be sexual or financial. Finally, and most importantly, nothing should be able to stop that love. It seems to be a nonsense in this selfish world, right? After all, we see the couple who had done love marriage, they are separating and marrying with another person for child. Here, the need of child stopped the love. The wife runs away with another person when the husband's financial condition is down. Here, money stopped the love. When the wife is no longer young, the man marries another girl. Here, sexual desires stopped the love. You know, when we inspect our society, seriously, we find many more such examples. So, this definition of love by Amok Leela Prabhuji really touched my heart. You know, it feels so silly when love is picturized using heart. When there is no use of heart in today's love, there is only the use of money and skin. And foolishly we keep on asking, how deep is your love? There's a song also, right? How deep is your love? Okay, yeah. And in reply, what we get is, my love is deeper than the ocean, blah, blah, blah. Right? Yes, the love which fulfills all those three conditions is totally a blessing and is highly respectful. But for those feelings which is named love but does not fulfill the given conditions, here also, Amok Leela Prabhuji has explained so well. He had said, such love is only 1 millimeter deep. That is, skin deep. Till the packaging of your body is blemish-free, fair-complexioned, you are lovable. But once the perfection in the skin starts fading, such love also gets vanished in no time. In this way, I witnessed many unimpressive love stories around me, let it be of my friends or relatives, which were certainly those who did not fulfill those three conditions. And yes, now please don't come to me arguing that love should be unconditional, but your Prabhuji gave these three conditions. See, if you look at these 3 points carefully, you will find that these are truly the qualities of unconditional love. Then, there also came a time when I also started having crush on someone. My friend Anta and Ranjita know very well about that. Certain type of attraction, but I never saw those three conditions being fulfilled in any of my crush. Then I knew that none of them was love. So the secret of crush remained a secret and never moved further to relationship. In this way, life was moving on and I was getting more serious regarding this topic. Many thoughts about love were kicking my mind. Yeah, in this world, almost every person loves or hates the another by analyzing their qualities. Why someone proposes to another person? Is it always because that person loves the another? Or is it because the former loves the face, money, fame, behavior of the latter? What if someday the face gets damaged? What if somehow all the property is lost? What if someone spreads rumors in the society distributing the person's fame? What if sometime behavior gets changed? Will that person still love the same? There is a song in this context as well. Would you still love me the same? Okay, forget about the song. Coming to the reality. If someday the proposing person finds someone who is more beautiful or handsome, rich, popular than the person whom he is proposing right now, won't he or she leave that person? I'm not against love. I totally respect love. I'm only against of carelessness and haste in love. Without understanding each other, people are hankering to be in relationship. It's not love, my dear. It is either obstinacy or lust, and both are very dangerous. In this way, by witnessing unimpressive love relationships, experiencing funny cross moments, from hating love to understanding love, today I do not say that I'm never going to fall in love, because I have understood how pious and serene love is. After hearing the glories of Radha Krishna, Shiva Parvati, my respect towards love is even increasing. Problem is not in love. Problem is in our perception towards love, in our haste, in our carelessness, and in our immaturity. So first, be responsible towards love. Only then, love will be responsible towards you. And now, talking about my case, in search of such love which fulfills all these three conditions, I have arrived to a point where my Krishna stands. I find there ever-increasing bliss, no vested interest, and nothing can stop the love with Krishna. I don't know whom I will marry in the future, but irrespective of that, this love will always remain divine, for this is the eternal love to me in true sense. I literally have no technical words to express my feelings towards Krishna. It is just a feeling which I feel. Hare Krishna.